everybody, welcome back to another episode of Keto Kitchen Chaos with Jackie. Thank you so much for joining me to see what we're going to be having for dinner tonight. So we're going to be making keto chicken pot pie soup. I am so very excited to do this recipe. It was inspired. I was from a friend of mine. Her name is Tammy. She made this for me when I first moved back to Pennsylvania. She had given me the recipe, so I was going through my recipe books and I found it, and I thought I could really make this into a low carb soup. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to get rid of the cream of something soups and the potatoes, and we're going to add some other things, and I think it's just going to be delicious. I also am going to try my hand at making a garlic chaffle to use as croutons, since of course we're not using any kind of pastry. So come on, let's go check this out. Come play with me. All right, gang, so let me introduce you to our cast of characters tonight. We have 4 cups of cubed chicken. This is white and dark meat. This is just from a whole chicken that we roasted. I pulled it off the bone, and I just, did that the other day. We also have 3 stalks of chopped celery, about a little over a half a cup of chopped onion. I diced that up pretty fine. Also 3 garlic cloves. We have a can of green beans, and what I did was I drained those and then I cut those into smaller pieces, so you don't have to do that. I just really wanted to be able to have everything be able to fit onto your spoon. The other thing that we have, these are a little bit higher carb vegetables, and I don't use them very often, but in this application I really felt it was important for the authenticity of the dish. So I measured out 2/3 of a cup of green peas. They're frozen. And that is going to be 8 net grams of carbs. And I figure in this, it's going to make about 5 cups of soup, but that should be fine throughout. You spread that throughout. I also have 3 baby carrots that I sliced really thin, and then I diced them up. And that is going to be 4 grams of net carbs that this will add to our soup. So not a big deal. Again, I don't normally eat these vegetables, but come on. I also have about 3 cups of chicken broth, or actually it's about 2.5 cups of chicken broth. We're going to use a cup of heavy whipping cream and then about a cup of sour cream. I also have the cream cheese sitting out because we're probably going to need a little bit of that to help thicken our soup, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that goes. We're also going to use just some basic spices today. I have salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. All right, so we're going to get started, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in my soup pan so we can get these vegetables sauteing. So to our melted butter, we're going to go ahead and add our celery. Oh, and I have this on just a little bit above low heat because we just want to saute these to soften them. We don't want them to brown. So we're going to be cooking these just a little bit longer, but over, like I said, a lower heat. So there's the onion. And then we're also going to throw the carrots in there. So we're just doing the harder vegetables first. So we'll cook those up until they're just about soft, and then we'll add the rest of our stuff. So our vegetables have been sauteing now for about 3 minutes, and they're starting to look good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic in. So this is, again, 3 cloves of minced garlic. All those good pieces in there. Give that another little stir. I'm also going to go ahead and season these a little bit with just some salt and pepper at the moment. And then we'll wait and we'll add our garlic and onion powder once we get all the other ingredients in. So just a little sprinkling of salt, and then a few grinds of black pepper. We'll probably be adding more of this as well. We'll just wait and taste it and see how that comes out. So we're just going to let this go for about another 2 minutes or so, just to check, like I said, till our vegetables are soft. And then I'm going to add the peas and green beans and our chicken broth. All right, so now we're going to go ahead in with our green beans. So this is just a can of green beans. Like I said, you don't have to do that step with drain. Well, you want to drain them, but you don't have to cut them up. Like I said, I just, whenever I'm eating soup, I like everything to fit on the spoon so that I get a little taste of everything. And then also our peas, which are still slightly frozen. I did take them out yesterday, but I think my fridge was entirely too cold. So we're just going to give those a little stir. It smells really good in here already. And all we've been doing is sauteing the vegetables. Okay, so now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and add our chicken broth. So again, this is going to be about two and a half to 3 cups of chicken broth. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to let that simmer for a little bit, and then we'll start adding some of our other ingredients. So we've been simmering this for about another 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add our heavy cream, or heavy whipping cream. So this is going to be a cup of heavy whipping cream. All right. And I've already been tasting it, and it's already really good, so I can't wait for the final product. All right, so we have that in there. And then the next thing we're going to add is our sour cream. So the original recipe that I had called for a cup of sour cream. Unfortunately, I only have about a half a cup, so that's what we're going to use. It'll be fine. We're going to get a little bit of tang from the cream cheese because I have a feeling I'm going to have to use that to help thicken this up. So it'll be all right. And then what I did is I cut up just half of the block of cream cheese. I figure we'll start with that and kind of go from there and see if we need to add any more than that. So I'm just going to kind of give that a little bit of a stir and get that sour cream broken up. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go in with my whisk so that I can get that sour cream broken up and melded into our broth. And I'll do the same thing when I add the cream cheese. It just really helps it get incorporated better. So just a little tip for you there. And thanks to my friend Susan, I have this nice non-stick one, so I don't have to worry about it scraping my pan. So Susan, again, I give you a little shout out for that. All right, and now we're just going to go in and we're going to start dropping our cream cheese. Again, I've just cut this up into little cubes just to kind of help it melt a little bit easier into our soup. And I've also let it sit out at room temperature. Well, it's probably been close to an hour now. So again, just to make it a little bit easier to melt. And we're just going to keep whisking and until this, again, melts and gets incorporated with our soup. And we'll check the thickness of it and see if we need to add any more. We'll also check our seasonings once we get all of this added to see if we need to put any more. And no, I did not forget about the chicken. I'm going to put that in last because I don't really want it to cook. It already is cooked. I don't want it to dry out. So we just want to heat it through. So I'm going to keep doing this. I have my heat just a little bit, well, it's between low and medium. So I guess that would be what, medium low. I don't want it to boil, but I want it to be warm enough so again it melts that cream cheese. All right, guys, so I added half that block of cream cheese. It's still a little bit thinner than I want it to be, so we're going to go ahead and add the other half. So I will make sure that I post this recipe down in the comments. So we're going to use the whole block of cream cheese. So let me go ahead and get that incorporated, and then we'll get our chicken in. Oh, it's looking good in the neighborhood. All right, so we have that other half a block of cream cheese all melted and incorporated. So it's a little bit thicker. I think that's going to be the consistency that I like. We're also going to go ahead and give this a taste and see if we need any more salt to it. Oh my. Well, that's really good, guys. All right then. Woohoo! All right, so it doesn't need any more salt, but we are going to go ahead and just add a little bit of onion powder. I'm not going to do a lot, just kind of a little sprinkle over. Again, just kind of do it to your taste. And then we're going to go with a little bit of garlic powder. Again, just a little sprinkle over top there. And then, of course, more black pepper because it needs more pepper. Okay, so I'm going to give that another quick stir, and then we're going to put our chicken in. I'm actually going to turn this down just a little bit. And very carefully, we are going to add our chicken. Hey, we managed not to splash any or burn ourselves. What a deal. All right, now doesn't that look like chicken pot pie? Aren't you excited? I'm super excited. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of let this simmer on very low so that we can heat that chicken throughout. And then we're gonna go ahead and get started on our garlic chaffle. that will act as our croutons for this. So let me move this and we'll get that started. And we're on to our chaffle. All right, guys, so we're going to try something a little bit different today. I want to do a garlic chaffle and then cut them into croutons for our soup to make up for the lack of a crust like you would in a normal chicken pot pie. So we're going to go on this journey together. I've not done this before, so we're just going to experiment. So here in my bowl, I have 1 egg that I have beaten, and to that we're going to add a 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese. All right, so we have our 1/2 cup of cheese. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir, and then what I'm going to do is I chopped up 3 cloves of garlic, pretty small, so I'm going to go ahead and add those. Again, we love garlic in this house, so if you make this, if this comes out delicious and you don't want to use that much, you don't have to. And if you don't have regular garlic, just use garlic powder. Again, I had it. I had already chopped some for our soup, which, by the way, is being very delicious over there on the stove. Did taste it again. I think our seasonings are right on, so I'm not even going to add anything else to that. Okay, so now our trick is going to be something that I saw other people do. We're going to spray our waffle maker, and remember, we want to keep that on a little plate because it will, like some of the grease I've noticed will come out of the back and stuff, so you don't want to make a mess on your counter. So we're just going to give that a good spray. I have let this preheat. All right, so what I have seen other people do to get a crispier chaffle is they put a little bit of cheese down first. So because I want these to act as croutons, I want to try this and see if it actually works. So we're going to go down with a little bit of mozzarella. So they say to kind of like let it melt a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. Ooh, can you hear the sizzle? Isn't that awesome? All right, and then, now remember, this is going to make 2 chaffles, so it'll be 1 for George and I. All right, I think that looks pretty good and melty, so we're going to go in with 1/2 of our mixture. I have a feeling this is going to make the house smell so good with that garlic in there. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. And I really feel like that's a little full. We're going to see, it might overflow, guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this. Okay, so we're going to cook this halfway through, and then we're going to sprinkle a little bit more mozzarella cheese on top and cook it the rest of the way. Again, this is supposed to give us a crispier chaffle. So we're going to try that today and see what happens. All right, so I have set my timer for 5 minutes, and we are halfway through that cooking time. So we're going to add just a little bit more cheese here to the top. And see again if this is going to make it a little bit of a crispier waffle. So we're going to go down. I'm also doing it for 5 minutes this time. Just again, I want it to try to be a crispy crouton-y kind of a deal. So we're going to let this finish. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right, 5 minutes is up. Let's take a look. Oh, it's stuck to the top. Oh, look how pretty it is though. All right, so I'm just going to kind of take my knife and try to dislodge. Trying to carefully dislodge the chaffle. All right, well, it looks beautiful. It smells really good. I guess I'll have to wait and let you guys know how it came out and if it came out nice and crispy. So we're gonna go ahead and make the second one, and then I'll get everything plated up and I'll let you know how it tastes. All right. All right, guys, so we are plated up, we're ready to eat, but I wanted to give this a final taste test for you. But a quick side note, so the keto chaffle croutons that we made, they came out really good. That extra minute and that little bit of extra cheese on the bottom and on the top really made them crispy. So try that if you want them to be a little bit crispier texture for you. They weren't quite as garlicky as I was going for, so I'd probably add a little bit of garlic powder to it the next time. So just to kind of let you know. All right, let's give this a try and see what we got going on here. Make sure we get one of our little croutons. Oh, guys, that came out so good. Oh, it really reminds me of chicken pot pie. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really hope that you will try this, and please let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear from you. Also, if you have turkey, maybe some leftover turkey, you could use that instead. That wouldn't be a problem. All right, so just to let you know, this did make 8 1-cup servings, and we added 12 extra grams of carbs with the peas and the carrots, but I just really felt it was important to have that kind of just to fake my brain and say, you know what, you're not missing out on anything. But that's why we up the other low carb vegetables. So just make note, you don't have to add them if you don't want to. If you're very strict keto, you do not. It was just what I did because that's how I play. All right, so guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button below. I do have some other soup recipes to check out, so I'll go ahead and post a link up there so you can look at those. Otherwise, have a blessed and wonderful day. I love you.